This is the Draft Seminar Rookie Profile Series hosted by myself, Matt Hicks, the FF Educator, and John Laub, the Gridiron Scholar. This is the Breece Hall Rookie Profile episode. I'm very excited to dig into a name that has been at the top of the 2022 class for quite a while now. Before we jump into it, I want to let everybody know that the Rookie Big Board Profile Series will be simulcast on the NFL Draft Bible Podcast Network, as well as the Rookie Big Board YouTube channels and podcast. Before we jump into things here, if you're watching the video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you think about Breece Hall. Drop a comment. Let us know if we're too high, too low. You can find all of John's work at footballdiehards.com and all of my work, including the 2022 Rookie Big Board rankings at patreon.com/theFFeducator. John, I know you're fired up about Breece Hall.
Matt, we've been talking about this Cyclones running back for nearly 2 years now, and he has put together an incredible resume entering his NFL career. He was in 20 and 21, he was consensus All-American. He was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year the past 2 seasons. In the Heisman Trophy voting, he finished 6th in 2020 and 10th in 2021. He was the Doak Walker finalist the past 2 years. He was first team All Big 12 the past 2 campaigns. First team All Freshman PFF in 2019. He has done it for 3 seasons on campus. He has back-to-back 1,400-yard rushing crusades and 20 rushing touchdowns each year, Matt. He's not as decorated as Jonathan Taylor, but he's up there. He's in the same tier. He established an NCAA record with a rushing touchdown in 24 straight games. In high school, he was a 4-star recruit. And this is fascinating. I never knew this until I started doing research in the past month. He is the cousin of former NFL MVP Roger Craig, who won the award in 1988 with the San Francisco 49ers. And boy, was Roger Craig good. I still remember him. But Matt, what does the film breakdown say when you looked at Breece Hall?
Listen, Breece Hall has been a favorite for many folks for a while, and there's a good reason why. He gets an 81.5 tape score. That is a high tape score for a running back prospect. It starts with his explosiveness, John. Great burst off the line of scrimmage, but what I really like is his ability to hit the hole hard and kick it into another gear through the second level of the field, closes space very quickly. He can burst through small holes for large gains, and he builds momentum quickly, especially when he has space to do it within. He has good vision, John. He's a patient runner. He gives his offensive line time to open the holes for him, but he understands when it is time to capitalize, and he hits the hole hard. Now, he can get caught at times trying to do too much, but more often than not, he gets nice cutbacks here. He understands where the defense is going to be, and he's got a nose for space when it comes to being on the field. Good athleticism, John. A great jump step defines his game. He's got a nice side cut as well. He's a smooth runner. He moves around the entire field with a high level of comfort, and he's not afraid to shake a Big 12 linebacker and make him look absolutely silly while he's changing direction. Now, I like to point out a weakness in everybody's tape review as well. He was not heavily targeted in the passing game. Now, this is a lesson we have learned. We need to be cautious. Just because somebody doesn't profile high as a pass catcher in college, if they're not asked to do that, doesn't mean they have good hands. When Breece Hall was targeted, he demonstrated soft hands. He demonstrated the ability to catch the ball without a lot of drops. I can't give him a high tape score for his drops, but I also can't give him a low one either. Hopefully at the next level, he'll be asked to contribute to the passing game as well. John, let's dig a little bit more into those stats.
It's interesting that you started with pass catching because while he's not in the Najee Harris, and I don't think he's the top 3 pass catchers in this class, when you look at the raw numbers, Matt, 82 receptions is not bad. But he's not running wheel routes 20 yards down the field. He's not running complex routes. They're mostly dump-offs, get the ball, kind of quick screens to him. So I agree with your assessment there, even though the raw numbers show that he can be productive in the passing game. But go back to the last season. unbelievable numbers, Matt. 1,774 yards from scrimmage, back-to-back 1,700-yard seasons with those numbers. Incredible. And scrimmage yards dominator. 34% of the offense for Iowa State went through Breece Hall's hands. Absolutely love it. Look at those career rushing yards. 3 years on campus, but he played immediately as a true freshman. 3,941 yards and 5.5 yards per carry. 56 career touchdowns. I mentioned the 24 straight games with the touchdown. Obviously, total career numbers, 56. We have not discussed, Matt, 6'1", 220. Breece Hall, I don't think people realize how big Breece Hall is. When you watch him against some of those Big 12 defensive backs and linebackers, Breece Hall's bigger than some of them. This is a well-built man. He has a sturdy and steady frame of a workhorse ball carrier. I could say with very good clarity that he can be a 3-down back immediately for you. You don't have to take him off the field in passing downs. He's a goal line back, and he can pick up the blitz. I don't think he's tremendous, but he's good enough to do it, so he should stay on the field. You mentioned it. I love his lateral movement and his natural elusiveness. And where I love it most, Matt, between the tackles. Sometimes you're like, where's the traffic? Where's the defenders? And Breece Hall identifies this cutback, this hole on his right, makes a lateral cut, and immediate burst upfield. So I know he can run between the tackles, which I like in my backs very much. He can get to the outside. There's no question about that. I am very bullish on Breece Hall. I have a second-round grade. I don't think there's a first-round grade on any running back in this group. Matt, what should our viewers know about Breece Hall?
Absolutely. When we break down his fantasy football specific projection, John, I have him at a 7-8 Superflex 8-0 one quarterback league. For both of those situations, that puts him into weekly starter range. My weekly starters are my solid running back too. So I'm projecting Breece Hall for fantasy football purposes to live in that running back 12 to 24 range. Somebody you can plug into your fantasy football lineup every week and have confidence that they're going to contribute. Maybe not with as much ceiling as some of the other running backs that are currently dominating the fantasy football landscape. When it comes to the NFL draft, John, I have him projected in that same range, 20 to 50, late day 1 to mid day 2. I would be shocked if Breece Hall was still on the board past pick 50. And you're right, John, it's a 2 running back competition here for the top. You're either in the Breece Hall camp or you're in the Isaiah Spiller camp. But in either situation here, you're looking at one of the top 2 running backs here in the 2022 NFL draft class. For rookie drafts, he's probably coming off the board as a top 3 to 5 pick, depending on your format here. Breece Hall will be a highly sought-after guy. If you're excited about him after watching this video, be ready to pay up. You're not going to get him cheap. Now, my personal exposure, it's going to be a little bit lower, John, because I'm going to give a teaser to the Isaiah Spiller rookie profile that we will do in future weeks. He is my running back 1, and it's not a knock on Breece Hall. I just think you're going to have to pick one or the other with your high rookie pick. And for me personally, I'm going to lean towards Spiller. My exposure to Breece Hall will be a little bit lower, but that's not knocking Hall. He's extremely talented. And John, I know your exposure is going to be quite high on Breece Hall, and I hope for all of our viewers that your exposure to the entire rookie profile series is high. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Leave us a comment. If you're listening on either the NFL Draft Bible Podcast Network or the Rookie Big Board Podcast, make sure you give a 5-star rating. Leave us a review. We really appreciate that. Let us know what you think about Breece Hall, and make sure that you are tuned in for the entire 2022 Rookie Profile series. And as always, we appreciate you listening.